Hey everyone. So a little while ago I put up a quick video about using markers in Studio One, and I did it during a live directed session with my coaches. And I said I would redo another video with a little bit more detail about how to use it and maybe how to change some settings and so forth. So that's what this here is about. I'm going to switch over to my Studio One install and kind of work through some things really off the top of my head. So please excuse me, this isn't like some super prepared demonstration. I will say that my setup for Studio One, I didn't do it. This was from Don Baarns. He has his VO Jumpstart courses, both for Studio One and for RX, by the way. And you go to vojumpstart.com, and it infinite tips and tricks and toolbars and everything, and gets you going straight for Voiceover, setting up Studio One for Voiceover, because if you've already opened it up, you know that it doesn't look like what you need. So anyway, the little sales pitch is over, and no, it's not an affiliate link for me or anything. I just really believe that he's very, very knowledgeable and helpful, and he's giving of his time. So check it out. So let's go ahead and switch over to the Studio One, and we'll see what we can do here. So here is my Studio One install. This special toolbar and all this setup was done because of the VO Jumpstart course with Don Baarns. So let's just jump into the marker thing. I set the markers during a recording session when I'm reading their script. And I say that because I'm going to start the recording when I start reading the first word of the script, and then I don't turn it off until the session's over. I'm going to record everything, all the ums and buts and directions and changes and updates and everything. A 1-minute spot, a 30-second spot might be a 30-minute session, but I need the markers to tell me when I'm actually reading the copy. So that's what I do here. So I'm going to start the recording, and you see the start marker up here, and that is when I'm starting to read the copy for the first time. Technically, that's marker number 1. So I'm going to hit record, and now I'm recording. And I'm going to keep speaking, and I'm going to keep recording, and it's going kind of slow because I have this timeline condensed up here. The way I do it is I click it, and I just I just use my mouse, the wheel on my mouse, and I scroll up and down, and I can condense and do all that. You can also click and grab down and pull if you wanted to, whichever way works for you. So now that I've been reading, we're done with the directions. Now it's time for me to start reading their script again. I'll pause for a second, and I'll hit the shortcut key Y. And that inserts the marker. And you see it's number 2 because number 1 is the start marker. All right? I'm going to condense it a little bit more. Now, as you keep going and you keep reading, they're going to stop you and, hey, can you change this? Can you change that? Sure. Another marker. Number 3. So now the default shortcut keys is Y. You can map that to anything. I'll show you that in a little bit. One thing I do want to show you, though, is how to add a certain name to the marker instead of just a number. So let's say they ask you to do an ABC. So you're going to hit Shift Y, and it brings up a little dialog box where you can enter. Now I hit Shift Y, that little dialog box opened, but the playhead is still going. I'm going to type in ABC. When I hit enter, the marker is going to be placed where I originally hit Shift Y. Let me click OK so you can see that. And there it is, way back there. So you can do that at any time. you can change the name of the marker or insert the name of the marker that you need to do like that. So you need to designate a specific marker you have to go back to. Let me end this here. I'm going to stop the recording. I'm going to go up here to active track right over here, and I'm going to click active track to set the markers. It brings the end marker in. The end marker for me is set at 10 minutes, and it was all the way over there. And that's just in your setup screen, which can be explained in that VO Jumpstart course. So now I have these handful of markers. If you need to go back, if let's say they say, can you play us number 3? Sure. I hold the shift button and then I click the B button and it'll move the marker back, all the way back. And if I want to go forward, I hold the shift button and hit N for next. And I can go right to 3 and I can start playing for them. It's just quick little tips like that that help you while you're doing the directed session. Beyond that, if you wanted to map the shortcut keys to something else, really simple to do. Let's go up here to the Studio One menu and down to Preferences, okay? And that opens up the preference window. I use this keyboard shortcut. I'm going to cancel that for a second. Go up here to Studio One. You see the keyboard shortcut right here, Command, comma. I use that all the time just because I like to use keyboard shortcuts when I can. So Command, comma. And I found that that Command, comma is actually the shortcut key for a lot of settings and preferences for different programs. So anyway, in this box here, I'm going to type in markers. Marker. And now that we're at the bottom of the marker panel, just scroll up a little bit and you see the marker tab right here. Let's open that. And if you scroll down here to see insert, you notice right here it says Y. Underneath enter key, you can put in any key you want. Whatever you want, you can put in there. Insert named, that's Shift Y. Again, you can enter anything you want. Go to the next marker is Shift N. Go to the previous marker, Shift B. And that's about it. That's all there really is to it. Not that big of a deal. Like I said, to me, it's a pretty easy way to keep track and somehow be a little bit more professional while you're doing your recording. It makes it easier to edit later. If you do want to edit out all the conversation, it's easy enough to go to the recording, right to the marker, and then edit out everything else. And then each marker is where you're starting to read. Some long form narrators might use this also if you're doing an audiobook. Some people use that for chapters if they do it all on the same track. I don't do audiobooks, but I imagine you can also do each track as a separate chapter. That might be a little easier, especially if you have to come back and do pickups and whatnot. But that's about it. That's my quick and dirty little thing about markers in Studio One. I hope that helps. Any questions or thoughts or comments, leave them below. Okay? Thanks for listening and putting up with me. Take care.